Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a really powerful lesson from Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We're talking about taxes, we're talking about corporations, and really a totally different way of thinking about money that, well, it pretty much explains how the rich play a completely different game than everyone else.
So, let's start with an idea that's going to sound a little jarring. We all know the story, right? Robin Hood. He steals from the rich to give to the poor. He's the good guy. But what if that whole story, that ideal we're taught, is actually a lie? And what if it's a lie that's designed to keep most of us financially stuck?
You've got to ask, why would anyone call Robin Hood a crook? Well, to get it, we need to take a little trip back in time and look at the real history of taxes. Because trust me, it did not start the way most of us think it did. And the answer to this question, it pulls back the curtain on how money and power really work.
Look, the whole idea of tax the rich, help the poor sounds great. It's an easy sell, and it got a ton of people to support the income tax. But history shows that this plan had some, let's just say, very unintended consequences.
What's so fascinating here is the sales pitch. Both in England and later in the US, the permanent income tax was sold to the public with one simple promise. Don't worry, this is only to punish the rich. So, naturally, the poor and the middle class voted for it, thinking, hey, this won't ever affect me. But here's the thing. Once the government got a taste of all that tax money, its appetite just grew and grew. Pretty soon, taxing just the rich wasn't cutting it anymore. So the tax burden started to shift, and it trickles right down to the very same middle class and poor who had voted for it in the first place. So how in the world did that happen? How did the original targets of the tax manage to sidestep it? Well, the rich didn't just sit there and take it. They reacted. They played the game smarter because they understood something about money that most people didn't.
So what did they do? The rich used their financial know-how to find a legal escape hatch, a tool that's been around for centuries, but one they know how to use perfectly. And that tool is the corporation. Now, this isn't about breaking the law, it's about understanding the law.
And this right here, this explains everything. Just look at the order of operations. It's so simple, but it changes the entire game. Most people, especially employees, follow path one. You earn money, the government immediately takes its cut through taxes, and then you have to try and live on what's left. The rich, they use corporations to completely flip that on its head.
So, what even is a corporation? Forget the image of a giant skyscraper. At its heart, it's just a legal structure. It's literally a file folder in an attorney's office filled with legal documents. But this legal body lets you separate your business from your personal life, and, crucially, it lets you play by a whole different set of tax rules.
And here's the magic of how it works. The corporation is what earns the income. Then, the corporation pays for all of its legitimate business expenses. We're talking cars, travel, dinners, you name it. And only then, after all that money has been spent, is the little bit of profit left over taxed. That is a total game changer. So this structure gives you two huge advantages. First, the tax benefits are just incredible because you're paying for a lot of your lifestyle with pre-tax dollars. And second, it's a legal shield. If the business gets sued, your personal assets, your house, your savings, they're protected. On paper, you control everything, but you own nothing directly. Okay, but to use a powerful tool like a corporation, you can't just wing it. Rich Dad argued that you have to develop what he called your financial IQ. And this isn't about being some kind of rocket scientist, it's about learning a specific set of skills. Now, financial IQ isn't just one thing. It's really the combination of 4 different skills working together. You kind of need all 4 to really get ahead. So let's quickly break down what these pillars actually are. First up, accounting. This is the foundation. It's financial literacy. You have to learn how to speak the language of money. If you can't read a financial statement and see what's really going on with a business, you're basically flying blind. Second is investing. This is the fun part. The science of money making money. This is the creative, strategic side of things, where you figure out how to make your money work hard for you so you don't have to work so hard for it.
Third pillar, understanding markets. This is all about supply and demand. It's about having a feel for what people want, what they need, and spotting opportunities based on what's happening in the real world, not just in a spreadsheet.
And finally, we have the law. This is what ties it all together. Knowing the rules of the game, the tax codes, the corporate protections, this is what can give you a massive edge. Like Kiyosaki says, it's the difference between walking to your destination and flying there in a private jet. So when you start combining these 4 skills,
everything changes. You're no longer just working for a paycheck. You've totally changed your mindset, and now you're playing a much smarter, more strategic financial game.
Ultimately, it really boils down to this choice right here. You've got path one: work hard, pay a massive chunk of your income in taxes, and try to save what's left. Or there's path two: invest the time to build up your financial intelligence and learn how to use these tools to your advantage. According to the Rich Dad philosophy, the rules of the money game are out there for anyone to learn. This isn't about some secret conspiracy or cheating the system. It's just about understanding how the system actually works. The rich play by a different set of rules, simply because they took the time to learn them. So the real question is, will you?